This is Contractor Sense with Ruth King.
Welcome to Contractor Sense. Here you discover ideas, tactics, news, and information that matters to your contracting business and you. I'm your host, Ruth King. This episode is sponsored by Profitability Movement. Google Profitability-Movement to join this community of business owners focused on building profit, increasing wealth, and giving back. Thank you for joining us. Here's how we will help your business and you today. Summer's coming soon. So how do you handle it? How do you handle training when it's really busy? Well, video evidence of repairs, filter changes, and installations can help spot issues and be used for training purposes. And video evidence is much better than what I call CMS, convenient memory syndrome. My guest today, Salow, CEO of XOi Technologies, a leading company in intelligent field service communications, gives you an easy way to train in the summer. Aaron, welcome back to Contractor Sense.
I'm so happy to be here, Ruth, and great to hear your voice again. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. I mean, I can't remember the last time you were on, but it's been a while. So why don't you give everybody an update of where XOi is now versus where it was like 6 months ago?
Yeah, no.
All different.
It's we've been fortunate to continue to be solving problems for contractors, distributors, and OEMs in the mechanical, electrical, plumbing space, and fortunate to start to pull those three groups together in new and meaningful ways. I also think in the last 6 months, the world's heard nothing but the technology world did nothing but more about generative AI and Chat GPT, and as of this week. I think Elon Musk and others asking people to slow down because I think he's worried about Skynet coming a bit early. For those of you old enough to remember that movie, but we've really started to invest in those areas as well. I think the data we've been capturing for those entities on job sites are creating some really cool things in AI. So that's been a big development for us, and continue to focus on the technician first.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've played around with Chat GPT and and AI and everything along those lines, and it's amazing what it's done so far. And I think Chat GPT hit 1 million users in like 5 days, if I remember the statistics correctly. And that's the fastest that any quote unquote software, which is really not software, product has ever grown to 1 million users. I think Facebook took 2.5 years, something like that. It was crazy. So anyway, summer's coming, and the reality is people get lazy because they're busy. They want to go to the next call and everything else like that. So how do we get them to slow down? How can XOi Technologies and the videos and things along those lines help them actually, make sure they do their jobs right?
Yeah. We view those opportunities as some of the best moments to start to digitize the tribal knowledge in a business. And so our data shows us, and I think it stands to reason in the HVAC world specifically, that contractors see 40 to 50% of their assets in the summer. And that's when they're busiest. The assets they service at their customers' homes, businesses, depending on the kind of contract work you're working on, is going to be during that time. And so that's when you're the most busy. That's when you're going to be able to map your asset universe, i.e. be able to tag kind of how old is the equipment I'm working on? Why is it breaking? Those types of things through XOi. And then also kind of see how your technicians perform against those things. So really first kind of the data that's coming out of those exchanges, having a platform to be able to capture that in a meaningful way alongside the work that's already being done is important. And then we kind of think about training as what are those just in time, in the moment of need opportunities? We call our virtual service center actually a virtual mentor center, so that customers that leverage our expertise are talking to experts who are actually mentoring them, not just giving them the answer. Now, in the summertime, sometimes you just need the answer. So we understand that too. But regardless, we're recording those interactions. These are not one-to-one exchanges or single serving exchanges. We're actually capturing these things to build training opportunities for the rest of the organization. Sally had an issue in the field. It was really rare. She got on a call with a virtual mentor center. They gave her some support and an answer. Now Joe's at home going, oh, that's interesting. I've never seen that before. Sally had this issue on site. Let me watch that interaction and see if I can get better. And so we kind of see these as opportunities to be impactful to the business on a daily basis, but also build towards the future.
Yeah, and the reality of it is that the video piece of it works really well because it's not only a tech explaining something, they can actually show it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when it's tied to the asset, now I've got an asset-centric searchability. So if I'm on a similar model family, I'm getting relevant information out of XOi to say, hey, has anyone in my company ever dealt with this issue before? And let me see what they did. Let me see what issues they had. And let me see if I can go ahead and solve this on my own.
Yeah. The other thing that, we really didn't talk about yet is, a customer looks at a tech with like a deer in the headlight stare, but the tech can actually, show her. I mean, from a commercial perspective, that customer may not want to go up on a roof, may not want to go look at, a gasket in a walk-in freezer. And this way you can show them what's going on and they go, I get it.
That's it. Yeah, absolutely. So not only are you giving your technicians best in class kind of training and support in the field, which is critical during those summer hours or summer times, rather, you're gathering the asset and you're providing a customer experience that, frankly, in these kind of recessionary type times that we're living in, we want to be on offense, not defense, but people are looking a little closer at their pocketbooks. They're saying, hey, you say I need to replace this. Do I really need to? Could it survive? Could you limp it along for another year? And gosh, when they see a piece of content that you've taken from their crawl space and they go, oh, geez, yeah. Pretty bad. Maybe we should go ahead and replace that. It makes it real.
Yeah, there's nothing like, a picture or video showing what's really going on for them to go, gross, or I get it, or now I know why I have to do something about this.
That's exactly right. I had this great experience. I haven't shared this yet publicly, but Lee Company is one of our first customers here in Nashville, Tennessee. They believed in us early. We love the guys over there. And I, of course, use them for my home. And I wasn't able to be at the house when I had a plumber out doing an assessment on my house. My house was built in 1940. So plenty of opportunities for improvement. And he sent me a video through XOi to convince me that I need to replace this water line. And I went, oh, I can't use my own technology against me, but he's not wrong. So we got it in queue and getting fixed soon. So
yeah, but now think about it this way. If he just said replace the water line and hadn't sent you the video, would you have thought twice about it, or not being real thrilled about doing it? Yeah.
Well, look, all I've done is work with contractors. I believe my calling in life is to support blue collar men and women in the field. It's all I know. My entire family, that's my background. And I still, if I would have heard, hey, you might need a $4,000 new thing, I go, really? Because it's the part of the pain. It's not that I don't believe, especially a company I've grown to really trust over the years. It's just that natural human reaction of going, I think the pain of the money is what bothers me.
Yeah.
And so then it's like, oh, this is real. And I think anyone who's honest, no matter how much you're in the trades or serve the trades, there's 5% of you that's going to question anything, that's being done. So yeah, it's just a great opportunity to prove it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad it happened to you. I mean, I'm sorry you have to invest $4,000, but you got to actually see your software in, working, so to speak.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it was great to have that personal experience.
All right. Before we take a break, if somebody wants to reach out to you, how do they do it?
XOi.io. And I'm going to call up my awesome marketing team who just did a massive overhaul on that website. So they get to go check out our brand new, fresh website. Check us out there.
All right. XOi.io. We will be right back. Thanks for listening to Contractor Sense.
Are you one of the contractors who enjoys getting and analyzing your financial statements each month? If not, it's probably because you haven't taken the time to discover what your profit and loss statement and balance sheet are telling you. And you probably are not making good business decisions based on timely, accurate financial statements. You know you have to do something about this, but where do you turn? Ruth King's Makes Your Financial Statements Fun and Sexy online course. These easy to understand 4 sessions explain financial statements in English rather than accounting babble. You'll discover what your financial statements mean and how to analyze them each month. Then you'll have the info you need to spot minor issues and take care of them before they become major crises and run you out of cash. Enroll today. Click on the link in the show notes or call us at 770-729-0258.
We're back. Thanks for listening to Contractor Sense. I am talking with Aaron Salow, the CEO of XOi Technologies. And before the break, we were talking about the fact that you actually got to experience your software as a consumer. Do you suggest that the company owners do that with their techs too, or not?
Yeah, what a great question. I think what an opportunity to share the experience that a customer gets than to have it yourself as a leader in a contractor business. And so I think being able to have that experience from any investment, whether it's a field service management platform, whether it's a diagnostic sensor-based platform, something like XOi. So certainly we would encourage that. And I think it gives you a sense of how powerful a platform can be.
Yeah. And the other thing that a lot of people don't necessarily, I mean, you trust Lee Company. I trust the company that I work with and have for years. And I'm not home a lot. And so the tech who works on my system has the code to my house. And, he can send me a picture. This is what happened at your house today. This is what we did. And da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So it's peace of mind when I'm not there, knowing that what was done. I know whether it's good, better, and different. And they know better than not to do it right. But from a perspective of somebody who may not have, it's an explanation of what happened, and they can see what's going on with their system.
Absolutely. And I think as you think the advent of, Airbnb, VRBO, people that had, maybe a second home somewhere, a lot of times you're going to have distant owners in the residential side. And so just the visibility and the confirmation of great work being done, it's interesting too. We, have folks over time go, look, you just brought a great example. I've got Ruth's code to her house. She trusts me. Do I really need to show her something? Look, there's always, even the best relationships, an opportunity to just appreciate great work. And, maybe it's not for those exact relationships, to your point, it's for the new customers. On the commercial side, right? The facilities managers are also retiring at an eclipsing rate. There's a skilled trades gap there too. And so for anyone working on commercial, it's not always going to be Joe, the facilities manager. It's being replaced by a guy who's 28, he's corporate, and he's got a budget. And so it's different, and so those are just things to consider when you think about what visibility and transparency means on a job site.
Yeah. And the thing with the new facilities manager who does have the budget, he doesn't have the history that you can show him through XOi.
Exactly. Right. You're just another contractor to that person, and they're looking to hit a number. So the ability to go, look, the reason you should stay with us and continue to trust us is we back up what we do with photo, video content on every job. And that also allows us to deliver information about your assets and the conditions of those assets and how you should do capital planning and all those different things.
Okay. Yeah, I totally agree. So let's go back to the training issue for a second.
Yeah.
Let's assume that a technician goes to either residential, commercial, it doesn't matter, goes to a unit and goes, I don't know what's going on, but they have XOi. So you can help them through a process to help them figure out what's going on, right?
Yeah. So our product called Journeyman, which I think we talked about before, but we continue to make pretty innovative adjustments to that, is the ability for a technician to simply take a picture of a data plate or choose from a drop-down menu if they've been to this location before and say, yep, this is the asset I'm in front of, gives them a world of information at their fingertips that they would have search Google, call a buddy, wait on hold with the OEM before they had XOi. And so by that simple picture of a data plate, our system quickly sees make, model, serial, and we go, hey, here's every time you've ever seen this asset before as an organization. And here's every time your company's seen this model family as an organization. And here's the active service bulletins, here's the manuals, here's the IOMs. This is an end of life unit because we read the serial number and we say that this is over 15 years old. So here's a workflow that walks you through a sales quote proposal. We're walking through that entire thing by virtue of asking a tech for a simple picture. And then if all that doesn't help them solve the problem, right from that location, they can launch a live video call to their experts, our experts, or someone in the OEMs that are also customers of ours to dial in those experiences. Yeah. So really looking to train them on site and having that full ecosystem behind them and kind of supporting them.
Yeah, and it's the dispatcher's responsibility or the service manager's responsibility to say, hey, if you go to Mrs. Jones' house or company A, B, and C, and you get on the roof or you get, somewhere and you're not sure what's going on, you've got like 20 minutes to figure it out. If not, click on XOi and we can help you through it.
That's right. Yep. And then we'll record that interaction. I think this is the critical piece. We'll record that. XOi will automatically learn from that interaction, and it will give the next person who has a similar challenge better, more relevant information so that every one of those interactions matter. They're not standalone.
Cool. All right. So it is now, this will air in the middle of April. And, summer's coming in some areas of the country. It's already here by the time this airs. Let's assume somebody raises their hand and they say, I want to use XOi in my company. Can we get the tech up and operating before it gets busy?
Yes. Great question. It is something that we have continued to hone as a business. And I would say whether you have between 5 technicians or 500, we can get you deployed really quickly. And so I'll give you some examples. Over the last several months, we've deployed customers in those ranges from 2 to 4 weeks on the top end. There's always nuance and always questions depending on where folks may be and things like that. But this is not a new field service management solution. That's not what you're committing to when you're committing to XOi. You're committing to giving your technicians a tool and platform that allows them to be successful on that same day with as little as 45 minutes of training. So really quick deployment, really immediate, impactful results in a short period of time.
Oh, cool. All right. So if somebody says, okay, they go to the XOi.io website and they say, can they sign up there or how does that work?
Yeah, so they can fill out a form there. Our team will be in touch with them within 24 hours or less, and we can get you rolling really quickly. So yeah, that's the best place to reach us. We'll quickly do an assessment and make sure that we're a good fit for each other, and then we'll go from there.
Very good. And Aaron, give me the website again one last time.
XOi.io.
I appreciate it. Thanks for joining me today and sharing on how to train in the summer and how to have less time on a call.
Awesome. Thank you, Ruth, so much for having us.
Oh, my pleasure. And thanks to all of you for joining us. Choose one thing that you discovered and implement it in your business. These ideas, tactics, and strategies help you make more money, have more free time, and give back. If you like today's program, spread the word. Please review this podcast on any device you're listening to it on. Help a fellow contractor make more money too. For comments or questions, call me at 770-729-0258 or email Ruth King at hvacchannel.tv. Thanks for listening. Have a great and profitable day.